The Matchbook 001 Violenceweight.
Hey yo, ¿qué paso? Welcome to The Octagon Jones. In this episode, we will be going over matchmaking in the middle divisions of the UFC and looking towards the UFC's 2022 promotional opportunities, specifically in the dangerous spaces between 145 and 170. This is The Matchbook on The Octagon Jones. We've arrived at a new beginning. 2022. This means new opportunities, new challenges, and looking ahead to what we can expect. If not what we can expect, what we'd like to see happen as fans. The crop at Violenceweight is prolific and bountiful. I use this term Violenceweight a lot, so maybe I should explain. When analyzing what the different weight classes bring to the table, it doesn't take long to deduce that the weight classes which reside in the middle ground are the perfect mix of speed, skill, size, strength, etc. This is what makes Violenceweight as an idea so fun, especially with their propensity to move up or down in this divisional window. The matchups we can fantasize about are vast and varied. Top lightweights talking about making the jump in either direction. 2022 is going to be a blast as far as fighters getting into the octagon at fresh weight classes. The spirit that these weight classes are imbued with is nothing short of legendary. And the sheer amount of spectacle we've seen across the board from this group is astounding. In this episode, I will not only be matchmaking fights I think we need to see, but also selling you on fights you aren't into or didn't think of putting together. I am your essayist, Slick Diaz. These are 10 fights we need to see in 2022.
Number 10. Donald Cerrone versus Paddy Pimblett. Lightweight bout.
This fight is already in talks, which is an encouraging start to the new year as far as getting interesting bookings in order. Donald Cerrone holds the distinctions of all-time wins leader with 23, all-time knockdowns leader with 20, as well as being tied for most performance bonuses won with 18. Paddy the Baddie Pimblett exploded onto the scene with an exciting one-round debut in 2021 where he recorded a big knockout victory over Luigi Vendramini. Cowboy Cerrone is on a tough skid recently, and this makes sense. The flashy, loud, and exciting newcomer with popularity and hype from overseas coming in against the all-American veteran with multi-record holder within the promotion who's had a history of putting prospects in their place. Book it.
Number 9. Dan Hooker versus Shane Burgos. Featherweight bout.
Dan Hooker has made no secret of the fact that he has intentions to make the move back down to featherweight, completing a weight cut to 145 to prove a point that he can do it healthily and easily. Whether that's actually what he and his team decide to do remains to be seen, but I can't think of a better reintroduction to the featherweight field than taking on someone as good and tough as Shane Burgos. Burgos is currently ranked 14th, and getting the opportunity to get a win over the dangerous, talented, fan favorite featherweight, the Hurricane, would be hard to turn down for the Hangman. As you're hearing this, I'm sure you're licking your chops at the thought of that matchup like me. Shane Burgos is coming off the heels of one of the best fights of the year against Billy Quarantillo in 2021. I mean, can you blame me?
Number 8. Rafael Fiziev versus Gregor Gillespie. Lightweight bout.
Y'all are just going to have to hear me out on this one. Gillespie is about as highly credentialed a wrestler as the lightweight division has to offer someone like Fiziev right now. Fiziev is streaking as an exciting striker, and this kind of matchup is perfect to either give Gillespie an opportunity to capitalize on Fiziev's rising popularity, or Fiziev to prove that he can hang with the best grapplers lightweight can throw at him.
Number 7. Belal Muhammad versus Khamzat Chimaev. Welterweight bout.
Belal Muhammad has definitively earned his ranking among the welterweight elite, and is quoted as suggesting there are only 2 fights he'd accept with someone lower than him in the rankings currently. One of them being the surging superstar in progress, Khamzat Chimaev. Muhammad wants to be the one to halt the hype train and steal his shine, and Chimaev wants to fight anyone they'll put in front of him. This one works on many levels. Not many other fights to make as much sense for Khamzat as this one does. A big-time spot for both fighters.
Number 6. Michael Chandler versus Rafael dos Anjos. Lightweight bout.
No matter how exciting his debut tenure in the UFC has been, Michael Chandler is still 1-2 in the promotion. I don't think his stock is in any sort of danger currently because of the competitiveness of all of his contests, but facing someone like Dos Anjos seems very sensible at the moment. He's here for a good time, and Dos Anjos is a well-regarded former champion with quite the reputation.
Number 5. Tony Ferguson versus Max Holloway. Lightweight bout.
The fight you never knew you needed. Tony versus Max. With Max Holloway's opportunities at featherweight apparently in limbo after coming up short to the current champion twice, it's possible that Holloway bridges the gap to lightweight once again at this point in his career. Last time he bit off more than he could chew in a rematch with Dustin Poirier. In this instance, we can make a legends fight. Tony is on quite the skid, and welcoming up a former champion and all-time great like Holloway could be exciting for a guy like Ferguson who needs something exciting right now. Especially since we know Holloway wants to put on a show, Ferguson knows no other way either. Fireworks. They both have wings on their backs.
Number 4. Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. Welterweight bout.
I've been calling for this match for 3 damn years. The logic levels are over 9,000. There's a chance that Edwards can wait out a title shot, but we know that isn't advised. Covington is the number 1 contender because of his close fights with the champion, Kamaru Usman, and nobody has stripped the number 1 from beside his name. Leon Edwards has a legitimate claim on the number 1 contender spot, and to see these styles match up is something I don't think welterweight can afford to miss out on right now. Kamaru has been very active, so to let the 2 top guys fight it out right now, a true number 1 contenders bout, let those boys figure it out. As Chael would say, please.
Number 3. Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier. Welterweight bout.
We've needed this one for the longest. One that got away. Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier would be a box office gem. The second son of Stockton facing off against the Diamond from Louisiana is one that every fan in the game probably craves. 2 legends of the sport who have a history of jawing back and forth with one another. Tensions have risen in the past, and the flame has been rekindled recently on Twitter and some online exchanges. What are we waiting for? Poirier at welterweight sounds just fine to me.
Number 2. Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. Lightweight title fight.
The fight that should happen at the top of the lightweight division right now, Oliveira versus Gaethje, is one of the most exciting fights anyone could draw up on paper. Danger lurking around each and every corner. The champion has expressed he wouldn't mind making Gaethje wait so he could get a fight with Conor McGregor, but that doesn't seem right or reasonable to me. I also don't think that will actually happen. Gaethje has proven to be one of the most talented and electrifying fighters at 155, and his recent fight of the year with Michael Chandler was enough to secure his number 1 contender spot in my eyes. Gaethje is next.
Number 1. Jorge Masvidal versus Conor McGregor. BMF title fight at welterweight.
Allow me to get creative with this one. Let me stretch out. Masvidal versus McGregor isn't only one of the biggest missed opportunities from the last few years as far as matchmaking and promotional hype goes. It's also still one of the biggest possible fights the UFC could make in any division across the company. Both are on losing streaks, but are big enough stars to where they very well could be past the point of wins and losses mattering in the eyes of the fans. Gamebred versus Notorious? Jorge versus Conor? Masvidal versus McGregor. Personally, I'd like to see them coach the next season of The Ultimate Fighter opposite each other and then compete at the end with the BMF belt on the line. Talk about stacking the odds in your favor. The promotional potential for all of those factors put together is substantial to say the least. Covington versus Masvidal on Tough certainly has its merits, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, but McGregor returning on reality television versus one of the most popular fighters in the world today makes dollars. And that, in turn, makes sense.